So I was called every name in the book during COVID. I was called a grandma killer, selfish, irresponsible, I hope you die. People would say the weirdest things, and strangers felt entitled to shame me, threaten me, harass me, and someone even showed up at my home throwing garbage and old sandwiches on my car because people have lost their minds from all of this propaganda. And that's how much my refusal to comply shook them up. And why? Because I refused to let fear dictate my life, because I questioned the narrative, I used my critical thinking skills, and because I stood by what I knew to be true. Real science, real health, and my God-given right to sovereignty over my own body and my choices. And I wasn't reckless. I wasn't harming anybody, but I also wasn't going to bow down to mandates and pressure that made zero sense. I wasn't going to let my child grow up masking himself, blocking his oxygen, and being afraid to live in a world where fear is dictating our every single move, where people were seen as threats instead of human beings. And I was never going to choose submission over truth, and I never will. And that moment wasn't just about health, it was about a defining moment in how I run my life, how I run my business, how our family is run, and the way that I help others. Because if you're not willing to stand firm in your own truth, in your own life and sovereignty, you are always going to be at the mercy of someone else's agenda. And that's not how I live. That's not how I built my life. I will always choose faith over fear. And if that makes me the villain in someone else's story, so be it.